Hi guys, hello, who's here? Who is here? Hi guys, I'm trying to share this live. Sorry, I guess I have to do it from here too, right? Maribo, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys from the big head. Hello, Angelina. You guys are so quick. So, come, we ain't messy. I think there's a way to share this link to my Facebook. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. Do. Okay, where she's live, there she goes, there she goes. Share this, copy link. Let me do it. Then I'm gonna put it here on Angel. Okay, ever since I know I posted my thing, and I posted some testimony about living within your means, or whatever that was about. Okay, let me do the sharing first, then I can talk to you guys now. Let's do the sharing. Those who can't catch it will catch it later. Hi guys, hi everybody. Yeah, oh, people need to get used. Come on guys, if you're here and you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe, because I'll be doing a lot of my shows here now as well as the rest of the places. So share yourself, share your stuff, and you know, share and come here and subscribe, and let's do the right thing. Angeline, you know, I really need to really recognize and tell people, you know what, there are people like Angeline who are just so good, so good. Vanhu vari bo vakaita saangelina, zvazvinoita panapa manje panowanza kuita ningirini, vanhu vanofuririka nenyaya yekuti audience is less sometimes, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can come and talk to yourself. You can come and talk to yourself. Share this life, because ndoda kutaura nezveupenyu, you know. I want to talk about life, real life. Groups. How do I get to groups? Groups. Let me leave this here. Yes, guys. So I shared something on my wall today, on my Facebook wall. If you're not already on my Angel page, do join us on my Angel page. I said what I should have done is to pin my number on here. But I don't know how to do that. Oh, man. I forgot to add my number, because I would like for people to call me later, but ndina time yakawanda yekuti ndiningirine, so I don't know if that's helpful or not. Welcome everybody. Guys, come join me. I know vazhinji kunyika kwamuri makatovata, so but tisusu kwedu tiwatiti takamuka. So guys, let me read to you what I shared. And I got a lot of people that inboxed me about this Ningrini. I shared a testimony about how I lived. I've once lived in a basement, because what happens is I see a lot of times, poster something, ndoposta ndiri kuposta bhutsu dzangu ndiri kumall, ndoposta ndiri kuposta shangu dzangu, ndiri kuposta chakati changu, bag ndiri kudi ndoningirira ndichitaka kuvhaira. So guys, no, but sipo panapa, they will come and watch later. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, just go ahead and subscribe and join me, because jairirai kuti ndokwatiri kunoku. So let me read to you what I posted on my Facebook, on my Angel Ruler page. I just posted, and I said, Nangofunga, you know, the spirit of writing just approached when I was thinking, when I was thinking about this situation. You know, sometimes muupenyu unoita kunge uri kushaina so nezvimwe zvinhu. I'm going to do a better show next time. But ndine zvekuita later, so I have to just do this and be done. Excuse my big hair. I just put on a wig so I could look like a human being. So what I thought about is you know, there's a lot of people sometimes vanhu vanondinyorera kuti kushaina, hey, show off, chichi ndichinyora zvinhu paFacebook pangu. But there's been times when I posted such a bad place. I never heard anyone well, not many people would come and say, Loveness, ndaona nyaya yako yakati ende inondabatikana. Not that ndichitsvaka kunzwirwa tsitsi, but it's like ndinenge ndatoita I live a real life, and in life you need someone who is so real to you. And I know kuti sometimes making noise about stuff is not a common thing. It turns out kuti unongo uchivhairira vanhu. Sometimes kune vanhu vakagadzirwa vakaita sekaliba yangu naMwari. God created certain people for certain reasons. Vanhu vakaita seni, vanhu vakagadzirwa vari idzo pito dzenyika dzekuti dzitaure dzipe vanhu information yekuti upenyu can be this and upenyu can be that. Okay, sorry guys, I can't see I don't know why I can't see. One comment, is that all that I can see here? Saying this my comments. Anyway, not that it matters. Can someone write a comment? Don't know. Can you guys guys? Why can I not hear people? Well, I'm not expecting to hear you. Angeline, can you write something again? Don't you write something up? Top chat, some live chat. Okay, I put it on live chat, so it should be able to show me my messages in Amurugu Senda. So my story goes on to be like this. Let me read what I wrote here on Facebook. And I'm going to feel out the spirit of, I'm a writer too, right? Yes. Now I can see Prima. Miss Jules, I see you now. Now I see you. Thank you. Angeline, I see you, sis. So what I wrote is the spirit of writing came into me when I was just sitting there. So I was sitting there and thinking to myself, sometimes I know I make a lot of noise on social media and like sometimes I don't know where the things I say come from. And I just haven't brushed my teeth yet. So when I was sitting there and thinking, just based on a few comments, I know a lot of you are very positive about things, but then Summers is a show off. I actually saw one comment which didn't change the way I feel in my ingredient to show off. The problem here is when we look at the things that people do, before you judge, look into their story and read my story first and figure out why I do the things I do. Because in life, there need to be people who are like me, who come and spill and talk and say stuff. Because there is, behind one person that speaks out loud, there's a million that don't even speak. They are doing okay, but where they have been, where you actually feel like, oh my gosh, where was I? So in any nyayangu goes on to this. The reason why I even wrote that, I just wrote this like 3 hours ago on my Angel page. I said, Mushindu wana kudai ndakambogara basement. Pazvakamboti monyei. At some point in my life, I couldn't afford living the life I had lived for several years. I lost most of what was mine at that point, which what was mine then means at that point, I lost a lot of things. Instead of trying to keep a front and act like all was good, I gave up my big place and made an adjustment. I moved into a friend's basement. This friend, I gotta say, she was acceptable of my situation at the time. I can determine that, you know what? Let me just actually elaborate this in your basement. Pandakatonzwa kuti ane basement risina munhu, ranga basement ranga almost abandoned, kusingagare munhu, kusingagariki. Ndabva ndagaya ndikati, she at least, what I thought about is, at the time I couldn't even afford kuenda panzvimbo pekuti ndanga ndichanotanga kuti ndipe basement renyu $1,000 iri ndinopinda. Because the things they wanted at the time, everything they would require, ndanga ndisingakwanise kumita ma requirements acho. Ndabva ndatotaura ndikati, look here. Since we have, are you willing to let this out? And to be very well, I am easy to live with me, but if you look at my social media life, you may actually not even want to be associated with me. There's a lot of people here in the DMV because according to them, but although I do the right thing on my path, I do the right thing in the guys, write in comment section. Don't worry about Vasipo. So this girl, look. And ndakatoenda basement area. I went and looked at it. It was like a one whole space here, space here, open, no separation, nothing. And I said to her, look, I can make this livable. I need a place to stay right now, and I need it now. No, it's up to you if you say you want it. Vanpa price. And I said, okay. The next thing, I could not afford to pay the rent where I was at the time, to be very honest. That's my story. You need to be here and listening to my story, because when people see me now, they will never understand why I live the way I live my life. No, I need a place to stay and I need it now. Zvokuti anzi basement harisi kugarika razodidini zvosiyana nazvo. Ini ndakajaira as long as there's a roof over my head, I'm good. Ndovantata agreements edu vanapa mari yake. Luckily at the point I was able to produce mari yanga achida iyoyo, and I was able to get in. Even if I ndanga ndisina mari at that time, I think she would have let me stay. So I moved in mu basement room. You know, from this whole place here into a basement, the space was just literally, you walk down there, and it's just an open space that it has an L shape. And it's an open space that has an L shape where you just walk in, and that's it. So I had to decide what is the bedroom and what is not. It's not funny, but it's very funny right now that I'm talking about it. There's many people who don't understand why I do things the way I do. Let me read my story and Anyora up. Okay, I'm just trying to say kudos to my friend who accepted Ujindigarena, because when there's a lot of people who I call my friends here in the DMV who don't want to be associated with me, because I guess but it doesn't bother me. I know what they're doing and I know exactly, but it doesn't bother me, because you know what? It doesn't change. Because the ones that I have as friends that are close to me, I've kept. So let me finish this one. Those to elaborate. Why I did it on YouTube is I want it to be here forever. YouTube but Facebook page, and I don't want to lose this story. My kids understand already. I want certain friends of mine to come and listen to this story. I want someone to be inspired one day and come and listen to this story and say, look, this is not the last point I am. I can actually get up and keep going. So let me read what I did. I did then. So I said on my story, instead of trying to keep a front and act like all was good, I gave up my big place and made an adjustment. I moved into a friend's basement, which would suit my pocket at that time. I chose my children over pride, because a lot of us choose to live the lush lifestyle because we are trying to keep a front. And my friends are shandy. I'm a lover of space. Okay. I missed something. At that point, what mattered the most was to keep a roof over my children's heads and to have a meal on the table for them. I'm a lover of space, but here I was in a place that didn't mean even have a closet. A closet was not a priority at that time. You know how I love my shoes, how I love my handbags, how I love to put my things out there and see them. At this point, I had to put all this luxury away and focus on the major things that were important. A closet was not a priority at that time. I had a choice to make. I chose shelter over the glamour. I had to be uncomfortable in order to rebuild. I made this basement my new home for many months till things got better, and I asked the landlord if I could build my own closet. Ndakatombomugara basement for the longest, ndisina closet, ndichitora zvinhu musuitcase, ndichihenga zvinhu zvozvokuti ndaingohenga samwe kwandanga ndakazviputira kuti zvihwande zvisaoneka, because ndiri munhu wesimatika, ndakajaira kutsvaira mumba. So I didn't want my clothes to be seen. Mukitchen taitokwira mudenga kunobikira mudenga, thanks to my friend who actually accepted this situation. So I was literally living in an open space. And to be very honest, Papa's not door ivara. It was a basement, and I got not door ivarika pamsora. So I was literally living my life out there. Dairara maupenyu wangu out there. Panga pasina door. Zvokuti zvese zvandaita pasi, if anybody was to be upstairs listening on the top floor kitchen, they would hear everything I was doing. Kunogeza taikwira mudenga kunogeza. But because I needed to do the most important things at that time, I changed my lifestyle. From a whole place where I had my own bathroom and the kids had their own space, I decided to adjust it because you know what? At that point, at that moment, I couldn't afford to live the way I was living anymore. And zvokuti ndanga ndichiita malife ndanga ndine, that's the time I actually sold my very expensive furniture yandanga ndinayo at the time that I had moved out of my married house with. Anyway, let me read the rest of this text, then we can go into discussion. A closet was not a priority at that time. I had to choose. I chose shelter over glamour. I had to be uncomfortable in order to rebuild. I made this basement my new home for many months till things got better. And I asked the landlord if I could build my own closet, and they said yes. Ndakanotenga mapuranga angu, and I remember that very well. Ndikatsvaka anogogodza zvikabatana. I made this basement very comfortable enough to be my home, and I was never ashamed to show it off from the day I moved in. Ndaitoita my life ndiri basement. I used to do my life angu ndirimo, but a lot of people will probably not even notice because ndotsvaira mumba. That's the advantages dzekuti if you know how to tsvaira mumba, you can vara zvinhu zvakawanda. Not that I was covering anything. I did my life ndiri basement mangu, and at the time papa tone curtain. Panga pane curtain I divide the bedroom. Ndakaisa curtain, I decided to put space I divide papa ne sofa paya pandakupostira. Ndakaisa curtain pakati papa kuti zviite ka bedroom seruku. Ndakazopesera ndapaisa chidziro changa chine closet kumashure nedoor kuti zvivharane zvakabva zvangobvarana zvakadaro. So I said I made this basement comfortable enough to be my home, and I was never ashamed to show it off from the day I moved in. It's a long story, and I think we should do a live talk about it, which we are doing now. But the moral of my story is, please understand me when you see me smile and show off a few things. I feel blessed. It's not meant to divide it. For me, it's my way of praising God for all I've been through to where I am today. I have seen the worst, and I have watched God lift me up from it all. I learned to adjust my lifestyle to what suited my means at that time. I don't live to show off. I live to thank God for sending me to wellness. Via a long bumpy road, Mwari vanombosvika papoint yekukudonhedza to the bottom of the bottomest, so you can start thinking again, because sometimes we grow big heads. That's what the statement was about. I experienced Namo in order for me to experience Kugarika. Let's not forget where we have been. God has his reason why he puts you through certain things. I love the Lord. Below are the pictures of my basement apartment when I was putting closet at some point. When things get better, don't forget to sing praises out to the Lord. So now I come back to my story, Ekuti guys. Kazhinji kacho we always want to come back. Chazvinoita ndechekuti ukaona ziso rako richitarisa chiri kuitwa naningi, pane kuti Mwari ndinoda upenyu hwakadai, wototanga kuti kuita, ukaona uchitanga uchiti kuda kushamisira, ukangoona statement rako rekutanga rati kuda kushamisira, ibva waziva kuti upenyu hwako hauna kwauri kuenda. It just means you're literally that person that will never rise, because auoni chakanaka chiri pamunhu. Usati wanzwisisa nyaya yemunhu, mira kunhingirina, mira kuda kushora. Patori nevanhu vakawanda vanouya and say kuda kushamisira. And when I look at it, I say, Mwari, inini kwamakandibvisa, like at that point now I'm going to go back to in discussion to my story. Things got really tight. Zvinhu zvakamonyeka ndanga ndine upenyu hwangu hwakanaka. And upenyu sometimes zvaunoita unombokwira, unombodzika, unombokwira. But because when you are growing, you have to experience certain things for you to be more responsible. Inini ndaishanda mabasa, ndoshanda mabasa anoita mari inonzi mari iyeyo. But the choices I made with that money were not good choices at the time. The choices I was making at that time were not good enough choices at that time. Zvekuti ndaisvika papoint yekuti if something goes on hold, chamira chiri kundipa mari zvese zvobva zvadii zvamira. So at some point ndanga ndiri ndaitoshanda, I used to work very hard. But dzimwe nguva pane panongoitika zvinhu zvinenge zvichingoda kuti zvikuchinjise maitire, Esleni Maposa. Thank you, Nkoliso Totonga. Thank you guys for being here. Ndikuitaurira panapa vachauya vachiona because yepayoutube inenge iripo mangwana inenge ari vanhu vachauya vachiona chachimunya because I know a lot of people are actually sleeping right now. So ndagara ndoda kuti munzwisise guys kuti inini mukandinzwa ndichiridza pito nepembe munoziva kuti kune chiri kunakidza. Mukandiona ndichiita zvandiri even musi munondiona when I come and I cry pano pasocial media. Because I believe who I am is not what you really want to think I am. Because a lot of people will sit there and think kuti anoshamisira. Andishamisire. Ndakairarama life yekushupika ini. So my story goes on like this. Ndichikusvika pamapartment vangu mandanga ndichigara at that time. I was living in a place. Ndichine all this furniture yandakabva nayo. I was married and had a big house which had everything. Like imba iyo yanga yakanaka zvokunaka vanoiziva. And was well furnished. Nefurniture yakanaka with everything. I held on to these things. Ndakabatirira zvinhu zvandaifanira kunge ndakasiyana nazvo kare kare because I still wanted to maintain that lifestyle. Yezimba. Okay. Up to a point whereby I rented a house yaita 3,000 something US dollars. Okay. Because I wanted to hold on to these things zvandakabuda nazvo mumarriage house yangu taakutengesa imba. That's another story for another day, because I want you guys to understand kuti not all those people who say they're buying houses cannot vanema vanedzimba. It's not all cozy in those places. Sometimes it's not aware zvinema consequences azvo. I will come another day with the story of how I got to get rid of my house. And imba yanga kanaka $500,000 home, okay? Muno America. Saka ndichinzwa vanhu vachitukirira kuti ye anozogara mukona. Anozogara pa indinoseka because I've done it all. I have done it all. So, zvinhu zvakarema kudara. I want to stick to one story. Focus tiziye zvatiri kutaura. Ndiri kugara hangu muapartment mangu kudara. Zvinhu zvakangomonyeka, things just went haywire. I used to do everything, make a lot of money, but sometimes you make the money. And I think chipo changu chekupa sterek, sometimes I overgive and I totally forget kuti I need to save for a rainy day. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. I'm overgiving to the point whereby ndinokanganwa kuti mangwana akauya vanhu vese vanenge vachibatsira ava, they don't even think about you. Okay? That's one thing I want you guys to master. If you're a person who gives, don't ever give when you don't have something to keep in the back. Because chazvinoita ndezvokuti vanhu vanobatsirwa vanobatsirika. But at the end of the day, vanhu vanokanganwa. And at most kazhinji kacho ukapa munhu chinhu ka1 they want more. Ndo zvandakanotisa inini. Especially isusu vanhu vari kudiaspora kuti une mhuri dziri kumusha uko dzinenge dzichida 50 cents dziri kuda this and this kubatsirikana during this time. Munoziva mese kuti zvinhu zvakaoma. I used to be that person who used to put everybody else first and put myself last. I have learned up to now to say no handina, even ndichizwa ndine savings yakamira yakadai. If I'm not in the position kana kune mari yangu extra kusina mari yekuti ndibate, I don't touch. I don't ever go ku savings account yangu and take money yekubatsira nhinga taruda kubatsirwa. Because ndo zvimwe zvinhu zvinovhiringidza izvozvo kuti you totally forget kuti upenyu upa zvinomira zvisiri izvo. All those people will run away. My apartment ndatanga kupiwa unozapaniswa zvima notices vanhu vanogara kudiaspora. Most of them I think kuti mostly when you can't pay your rent unotanga kupiwa zvima notices. I think zvotanga zviri zveyellow, which means they are doing my court proceedings. Zvotanga zviri zveyellow zvozoita zvepink kusvikira vazokuisa paeviction. Handiti I'm talking to somebody right here today because pane vamwe venyu panapa vanofunga kuti zvinonyadzisa kutaura kuti you actually went into poverty at some point where you wanted why the only probably pane vamwe vakamborara pasi pemabridge panapa vatiri kutotaura nawo. I started getting zvitsamba zvinhu zvakazomonyeka, but because at that time I was not using my brain enough kuti ndikwanise kuchengeta mari pandaifanirwa kuchengeta mari, ndaitambisa mari. Ndakasvika pakutadza kutanga kufaila. And like you say, some people just will take advantage of situations dzekuziva kuti unopa and une ruoko rwekupa and they will try to take advantage. Learn to say no. It's okay to say no. Kune munhu ari kuda kukumbira something. It's completely okay to say no if you cannot do it. because vazhinji vedu paripo pana pane moyo yakanyanyisa kunaka zvokuti to the point yekuti unotonzi ndipo chakati unotoitora chete mari iyoyo 2 cents yasara muakaunti uchinyatsoziva kuti ndo yega yasara and you give it away because urikuda kungoshowa face yekuti ndiloveness akumbirwa and loveness hashaye mari. No, it's okay sometimes to say no. So those letters start coming and I knew where I was headed was not a good place because the last thing I wanted was kunge ndine vana vangu panze. Chinhu chandakapromisa inini mukati muupenyu was kuti no matter what happens to me, I would never ever be on the streets nevana vangu. Ndimunhu anoshanda, but you know sometimes inini mashandira ndoita majobs dzimwe nguva I think ndimwari vanenge vachida kukudzidzisa lesson handimboti majobs anoshaika because inini mabasa andoshanda haawanzoshaika. But dzimwe nguva mwari vanokuisa paposition yekuti unzwisise uzviunderstande iwewe before you try to understand everybody else. I think at that time Mwari was trying to tell me kuti look, you cannot take care of the world before you take care of yourself. Be selfish enough to put yourself first. Zvinei, I decided quick enough ndakangofunga ndikati you know what, kunhu kwakuenda zvinhu hakusisina kumira mushe. Mari shoma yandinayo I was failing to keep up with stuff. Apa ndakandatora chikwereti pamotikari yangu yanga ndinayo at the time. I'm going to tell you stuff that you will know, you'll be shocked to hear. Ndakandatora chikwereti motikari yangu as a Benz yangu yanga iri paid for. Okay? Ndakandatora kachikwereti ke $5,000. You know, this is the saddest part yekuti ndakandatora chikwereti che $5,000 pamotikari yangu. Motikari ya almost $30,000 ndakandatora chikwereti che $5,000. Ndatora chikwereti. I was failing to pay credit church. I was failing to pay anything because at the time I was not making any money. The most I was trying to focus on was Maria Renti, making sure to vanama ne roof and it. I had to think fast. So when I thought fast enough, I said, look, I'm going to put it out there. Put word out there. You know, someone tells me, but no, we are in a basement right now, but I don't know what I could rent inside. Like I go to basement, like I said, it was a one room straight from corner to corner. In Panatin to Kumfonera in Muzimba, a friend of mine, very good woman who I love dearly. For what she did, I love her even more. I called her and got Shaman. You need a Pekugara and I need Pekugara ASAP. Because the whole situation was to be moving. Ndukuza imimi vatpana pavano feel bad kuti nyika ichandiona ndichizodai nyika igozodini at the end of the day. I called the girl and I was like, look, ndikunida kuya pekugara. Ava nditi mangwana uyawona. Akanti arigarike basement racho rakazodai ndikati shamwari zvauri kutaura izvozvo zvandikuteerera right ndoda kuuya uzoona basement racho. And the next day I went over there and I saw it and I said, look, mangwana chaendi kututa ndikuuya. That's kana zvisati zvaoma aufunge. But when things are really tight and you know you need to make this move, and the thing chipo one chandotenda kuti Mwari vakandikomborera nacho is I think fast and I act fast. I have a fast acting mind. When I think about it, I do it. I take a chance when it's time to take it. If it means jump, for me when I see jump, I jump. I don't waste time. Because you know what? It was me at the time who was at risk. So I left. I decided I was able, at that time, I got that money. I put together everything, got chagamota, everything, moved out of that apartment. And I moved out a couple of months in this rent because and eventually, you know, if you don't do the right thing and move out, they will come and throw you out. And I was not going to wait until it were thrown out. I moved everything. I moved everything. It was a lot of stuff. To be very honest, it was a lot of stuff. But luckily what I did is, I decided at that moment, I was not taking anything that I really didn't need at that moment. Everything. That's when I got rid of my house furniture, which was big chinas. Big, 12, 15, 16 around dinners. There was stuff I had moved from many years ago from my house, and I was still holding on to that. That's the reason why I was renting these places that were so expensive, because I was holding on to my past. My sofa, I had 2 pairs, the sofa and all that stuff. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to put all these things on the apps. I made a lot of money out of it, which was great because then it helped me move and be able to settle basement kwangu. Kwandaibhadhara $800 from rent almost $3,000 ndakubhadhara $800. So at that moment ndanga ndakuseva chi almost 2,000 at the time. But remember ndanga ndisiri kushanda at the time. Saka zvinhu zvanga zvisina kumira mushe. And at the time I did not even have a dime in my savings account. At the time, I did not even, all I had was Jukweret at that time. At the time. So that's what I was living to. And the munozi yatoba Jukweret. And I told you, ndakanga ndatonotora chikweret pamotikari yangu. You know, kune zviya zvokuti unoenda unotora chikweret kana uine title yako yemotikari wakapeya off unogona kutora kachikweret pamusoro pemotikari. I'll tell you that story as time goes. Didn't need just enough time to talk to you. I decided I was going to move into that basement. Guess what I told myself as I moved in there? I was so happy moving into that basement. Like I'm telling you, I'm sure she's watching this and she knows. She's here probably watching this. You know, it was just a peace and freedom. Knowing that all I have to pay was $800 to live there, not $3,000 anymore, $2,800 anymore. I was happy to know kuti kana nyango zviite sei handishaye $800 yekubhadhara pai pandanga ndaakugara. I had to lose a lot of things in order to suit into a different space. But did I fight? And guys, I was doing my live where I used to do a few years ago, and I told my live in basement. I used to do my live nananti Jenny, my live in basement comfortably. I adjusted myself. Check cut off. Ndikatengesa furniture. Yes, I sold pretty much everything. Even sofa. Ndakazongotenga sofa rinoenderana nespace yanga ndinayo, and I bought it for very cheap online. Ndakanotenga the most expensive that I had. I took that little money and put it away. I bought kasofa kanoenderanawo nepanzvimbo panga ndiri. Ndanotengawo kadhaineti kanga kachienderanawo nepanzvimbo pananga ndiri. And at the point ndasina zvibhawa zvese zvamunoona taakuvhaira nazvo. Tanga ndine a little table kaikogara zvimawawa 1 2 3 because I love my drink and I was not going to let that just go away for good because at that time I guess ndo drinking ndo yanga ichitotikipa was saying at that moment. And the real people, to be very honest, who are my friends and who were not. There are few people that would call and check on me who knew my condition at the time. And I've kept those girls around because they are my true sisters. We actually used to hang out this. Tea party. And the girl upstairs, that girl who let me come and stay in her house, she will ever be dear to me. That girl upstairs who let me come and live in her house and let my children sleep upstairs in a couple of her other bedrooms upstairs without charging me more, she will always have a place in my heart. Because Penyuso, you just don't know when things are going to get bad. If I didn't choose to adjust at that moment, Askanaka, I don't know there's a person I wouldn't my street, but I would have been in a worse situation than the situation and then just opened up because you know when they start putting Jitamba, they are eliminating, they're evicting you. You know they are coming at some point. And I've never gotten to be evicted. But I have gotten those my letters court ekunzi hauna kubhadhara rent. Makawanda panapa, especially right now I know I'm speaking to someone who knows and understands what am I talking about? Because there is a time when things are just not happening right, not because you want them to not happen right, because they're just not happening right. It's not your fault. And it's not my fault. And it's not anybody's fault. At that moment. What you must sit down to think about is go back to the drawing board because vazhinji vedu tinorarama lifestyle iri out of our means. Tinotya kuti nekuti ndakamboonekwa paFacebook ndine cabinet rese rakazara red bottoms handichakwanisi kuoneka ndichiita lifestyle iri different. That's wrong. Kana zviri kuendeka nguva yacho iyoyo zviri kuendeka. Kana zvasvika pakumira kuendeka zvamira. And kana zvamira dzidza kuti zvamira iwewe because isusu tiri kukuona isatakana basa nazvo whether it stops or not. All we want is our entertainment. indakasvika papoint yekuti Loveness, stop. You cannot afford to live here anymore. Wakutora zvikwereti. You are getting eliminated. You are getting evicted out of here. That means you have reached the end. You have hit the wall. It's time to adjust. Rutendo, chimira pano. Ipapapo, nenzima hama zangu zangu dota mazita baraba netumedwa hama turukumsha. They call demanding for money. Like literally, havana data vanonzwisisa kuti hauna mari hazvisikuendeka. They're not my close friends. Well, they're people I know. I see China in the moon. No? I'm on my YouTube video. How are you? What happened? Well, where are you? What do you mean? Where are you? Are you in Potomac or are you where? No, you want to come over here? No, I don't want to meet you. If you're gonna come and see me, come and see me. I'm not leaving my house right now. All right. See, I can't even live my life, Baba. Mubona ndati ndizvitire live video yangu izvozvizvi because munhu abva panapa manje amutoenda kudzo ana chakajikiswa ino. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. This Mkweguri is going to give me a headache at some point in life. Ndofanwa kubuda ndinomita kupi kwacho kwandoda unomita ndinoda kumita munhu somewhere munhu ngawe panapa. Anyways, that means I have to cut this off in a little bit, but let's just talk about what I was getting to. Ndichazonyatsoita pa weekend ndine time because ndirushanda, you know, I've been working my 15-hour shifts. I'm going to be working this the whole week, so I'll be working. So ngatichipedza itimbo titaureta. Priska Kelly, I see you. So this all goes down. Finally packed into my basement. Basement is like, I'm telling people that understand. Most of my walk-in basement, my basements are able to no pinda nemdenga. Ranga ne back door jaro, but no pinda uvango nanga pasi. Apana door ivara up. There was no privacy at all. It was like one big space and like divider ndega. And then musui, I want to just clarify kuneva makafunga ndikuchinyira evi musui andakaita nigirina evi dongo. Live in the chamber. Mu basement imo mamsina toilet. I want you guys to understand kuti ndakandisingachinyire ndaitonakidzwa because I've lived that life. Even kuno kuAmerica kune vanhu vanoshandisa machemba. Mu basement imomo manga musina toilet. Saka usiku you had an option to go upstairs. Uine hope unoziva zvinoita kazhinji kacho pakati pehopo kamuka. I mean, it was just designed that way, but kwanga kusina toilet downstairs. Saka kwakune laundry room chachiri separate. Saka inini at most dzimwe nguva ndaikwira ndakambotanga ndichakwira mudenga toilet yanga iri neche main floor, the you know that powder room ine toilet yayo. Ndaimbokwira ndonoita weti yangu pakati. Unoziva weti yepakati pousiku iya kuti inongouya. But you know what happens when you get up and you get upstairs, by the time wambotena malights on unodzoka hope dzotora another 2 hours kuti dzibate. Up to a point yekuti ndakati fokoro mana handisi kukwira mudenga ndibva ndaisa chibucket changu downstairs. The same thing. People don't understand kuti sometimes tikanga tichita zvepanapa pa social media. Most of it is it's just entertainment and people just take things and they run with it. Ndaitoita weti muno muAmerica, ndaitira weti muchamber downstairs kubasement kwangu. Ndorasa muchis big sink, mamune chisinki chelaundry ndo cleaner. To avoid kukwira mudenga pakati peusiku. Imagine weti ya 3 o'clock. Waiting at 3 o'clock. Luckily, basement imomo laundry room yanga ine, at least laundry room yanga ine door divider from the open area to the. Saka weti yaigara mbaketi kuseri kokoko. Ndo kwandaizvigarisa ikokoko. Ndikaita weti yangu mbaketi imomo either ndaita weti mubaketi ndorasa mumuningiri muchi big sink ichocho ndo cleaner ndorara. Otherwise kukwira mudenga kwakatanga kunetsa ino. I used to laugh because I used to say ndakafunga ndakasiya machemba kumusha. But musu pane time yandakaita interview na Evido ngupanapo. Ndikatoti ire bucket rechember here because I've been there whereby I've used the chamber to sit on a chamber and apana chinoshamisira and chinoita isusu most of us isisi kunyanya vanhu vatema ndisinosekana nezvinhu zvina basa munoziva. In life ukangodzidza kwadjasta Sometimes an adjustment is actually really good, because when you adjust, sometimes you actually give yourself enough time to put together what you need to put together. I'm going to tell you now, Baba, vati vakudzoka kunoku ndanga ndambovhunga ndaita get it of him, but I guess I didn't. Vari kudzoka vamene kuti men kumba kwavo hakunakidzi, ndanga ndambovatandanisa vaenda. But anyways, mubasement imo inini handinyare kutaura zvinhu izvi, because I'm not a slay queen. I am Rutendo, and I live for reality. Ndichazonyatsokuisira ichi show chaicho chokuti tinyatsogara pasi tese tichitaura, okay? Ndaita weti yangu mubasement inini ndorasha kuti ndisakwire mudenga. Okay, that's a story. Tarisai kutsvukira kwandakaita. Ndotozviziva. Saka mukandiona, when you see someone glorifying God over the good things that God has done for them, haikona kutanga kutsvaga zvekuita godo nazvo. You don't know which path that person. I'm not explaining myself here. Ndikungotaura nyaya yangu because my spirit told me to come and talk about it. Ndanga ndine vana at the time who were going to school. I had to change the kids out of school. I had to make serious adjustments at that time for me to be able to suit somewhere where I could afford to be, because the last thing is kuti magara pasi bridge kana kuti maamushelter nevana. At that time I could probably have gone to a shelter by myself, but I was not going to do that to my children when I could adjust. Hashishamisire zvese zvatinoita izvi, hashishamisire izvi zvokuvhaira nebhawa rine maglenfield izvi, hashishamisire zvokuvhaira nebhutsu dzakaungana apa. Kukudza Mwari. The only thing is, some people vakaita sesu, they were saying thing that yekuti chinongouya pano chitaura kuti hama zvakambondimonya, kana zvanaka ndichauya pano ndichiridza futi mhere ndichiti zvabo. I'm getting emotional. Kana zvanaka ndichadzoka panapa ndichiridza mhere, because if I can come here and be still okay in my bad situation, allow me to come back here and be okay in my good situation. Livumirei kureva. Allow people to do things the way they're doing. And don't ever allow people to put you in a position whereby you can't even move and think, Kuti, this is the end of it. Adjust. Go where it suits you, because dzimwe zvazvinoita futika. Mwari vanika kupenga kavanomboita so. Kakungokuturunura so from the high grounds. When God sees you getting too up high, I don't go release like a brick one, so warriors your badona. Mwari vane nzira dzavo dzekuita zvinhu. Vanokubvisira ti mabricks too mupuzzle. Puzzle yese wanga ya pasi. Start over, honey. Ukasadzidza kuti ndosimuka sei. Nofira ipapa. Because at times I think we lose focus on the wrong things. And I've lost focus in my past. And during that time, let me tell you, even let me get juicy before Baba vasati vashika. Don't know the juicy. Remember, na ane benzi yangu ye black, it was paid for. I got that in a coffee, vanatora chikwereti. Chikwereti ndakatadza kuchibhadhara. Kwanga kwasara about 3,000 something kuti ndipedzise. Ndikafunga kuti ndatama kwandiri havachazivi kundiwana. One day ndakangomuka makuseni. Mwana anga akarara mudenga, mbama anti mudenga akati, mami pane noise yaitika panzamba ndauziva kuti chii. Vakauya vakaitsvaga vakaiwana mune muAmerica, vakaitsvaga vakaiwana vakauya vakaikukumura apa ndakana 3,000 something yekunoibhadhara. I had to let them sell the car. It was like almost $30,000 car. Ndakatovaregedza vachitengesa ende vakatengesa, ndakazongopiwa change yekuti pasara mari. Ndakangoti Mwari itai kuda kwenyu at this point. Because at that time I was not going to strain myself kunotsvagana nezvimwe zvikwereti zvondibhadhara chikwereti. I just said at this point I need to lose it for me to understand that I need to start over. But guess what happened? When I got up from there, ndakadona muzipit, ndakadona muzigomba rekuti ndakadonesa ende ndakadona kusvika pasi pasi ende ndakarwadziwa nemadonhero achiweyo zvokuti pandakazosimuka I got so comfortable ndiri basement imomo. Dai kuri kuti muridzi wandakarentera from, I rentawo from a landlord, saka anga muridzi angada kutengesa imba yake, saka we all had to move. I had gotten to a point moza ndatonegotiata kuti muridzi andisirewo bathroom downstairs, ndoranga ndichingochemawo kuti ndisapote ndichiita weti yangu muchemba. And angavuma, because actually the guy who owned the house just loved me because ndandiri very clean. I used to keep them ndakakagadzira kabasement ndikakaita kunge kamansion office meno kapisi kemansion somewhere. I used to take care of it ndaitsvaira because inini chipota ndakapiwa namari pandinogara ndinogadzira. Akarishaya basement rake even pakandibvumira kuti ndiise closet ndichizoisa dziro pakati pebedroom neliving area kutodivider. Akashokekana, he couldn't believe I did that. I was actually so comfortable. I was going to stay there forever. Ndichimbounganidza mari yangu because at that time zvinhu zvakangotanga kusimuka zvega. And pazvinosimuka ndo chikuru kana zvinhu zvakuitika is to know how to rise. It doesn't matter how hard you fall. Unogona kudona ugotsemuka this scramble and come back harder. Because kazhinji kedu vanhu tinotarisira kuti ndadona and you lose your faith in falling. Sometimes falling is a motivation to bring you up in a speed imwe inopfuura madonhero awakaita. And learn to live within your means. Life doesn't have to be somebody's life. It's not because uninga ari kurarama life yakati unofanirwa kuita. Ingoti Mwari ndinoshuvirawo upenyu hwakadai. Mwari is good at those things. Godo ndo rinotishupa isusu. Vazhinji venyu munoshupika nenyaya yegodo. Mune godo risingaitire kuti unondiona ndichifambirwa hangu ndakazvibatira apa. Iro igirazi rewaini rinorwadza munhu moyo, kurwadza munhu. Igirazi rewaini ndiri kuzviuraya chitaka. Chiri kukurwadza chii nekuti ndiri kuzviuraya? The moment you start realizing, you know what, it looks so nice, but I can't tolerate wawa mudumbu mangu. Ziva kuti Mwari vane chinangwa why you can't swallow alcohol. Haikona kuti ari kuvhaira. Wotonditira godo inini woswera wakufocusa on kunditira godo inini and totally forget kuti no, God has a reason why everybody is where they are today. And like I say, when you see me do the things I do, I'm praising my God. Where I have been and where I have walked, I've walked the roughest roads. I lost my car. Benzi yangu yakatorwa, vanhu vakatora usiku ndakarara because vakaitsvaga vakaiwana because ndanane mwedzi nemwedzi risingabhadhari chikwereti chefu chakaita almost $4,000. Vakauya vakaikukumura mudriveway ichibvairwa pasi. That was vanga vasati vanzwa nyaya yekuti benzi yangu yakaendepi ndokwa yakaenda ikokoko yakatorwa nechikwereti. Ndoda kukudza reality yacho because I think some of you think kuti tingoti ma show off. At this point, to be where I am today, if all this didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have been who I am today. Credit ball. At this point, it's really ball to the best. Credit score above 700. No, as much as I paid off the student loan, I paid off my car, I paid off, and that's where it is. And that's where it's in the moon. Hakuna munhu wemunomani uya achigogodza padopa kuti ndirechikwereti newe. Within the past few months, all this just came to take place. And I'm able to survive ndichiziva kuti, you know what, zvandiri kuita izvi zviri kuenderana neni. If it comes to a point whereby I need to adjust, ndosunga magiya. Munondiona ndatuta panapa ndamuka one room. Because ndo zvanenge ndichitorarama nguva yacho iyoyo. If I decide kuti neproject yandinoda kuita ndakunida kuseva 20,000 pagore, if I need to shut this down and put myself in a one room, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I have learned to understand that I don't live to please people. I live to where my life, that's what I can afford at that time. And when I cannot afford it anymore, I let it go. And when I'm doing my life, it's not to please anybody. That's where I want to be at that time. It's not about you. Just learn to understand in your own life, this is me. This is what I can do. This is what I can afford. If you're to be very honest, I manage. I lived with Amanda for a reason. I could have moved here the time and I can move I just adjusted my thinking. Mwana had just moved out of the campus, Kuchkoro. An apartment yake. And I had to help her pay rent for a whole long time before she settled herself. I want to buy and heavy. I didn't want her to focus too much on working. I wanted her to make sure she gets my credit. So I had to pay rent here, and I had to pay rent for myself. And I had to take care of my son. and many more things that I had to do. So I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I came, mandiri kugara muno 2 years ago ndakauya ndikatarisa this place and I almost signed. But before I signed, I sat down and thought kuti I didn't think it because things did not English. It's not good English. I sat down and thought and I was like, Loveness, is this even feasible? Yes, unengo chirarama hako. Yes, are you willing to go and lose all this money over just living a good life in Mumba, which you barely live? Because I think I'm always at work. I decided, at the time Amanda was looking for a roommate, and I said to Amanda, I know my situation. I didn't know how Amanda was going to feel like living with me. And she loves me. She's my sister. But still, noisy. I have the loudest voice in this world, whereby I had to say to Amanda, if you really want a roommate, I'm willing to bank with you for a little bit whilst I figure myself out. She needed a roommate, and I could be somewhere for cheaper before I go out and throw money away, because I stayed with Heather for a little bit, and no, I don't do homeless. I live within my means, and that's what I do. Like I told you last week, sometimes people, they think because I've been seen looking like this, I can't be seen looking that. Who gives a care what you look like and when? Because if they're not putting money in your bank, then they're just not even important. Life can be, it's an adjustable thing. You have to be able to adjust from one situation to the other. You have to learn to adjust and suit whatever is going on at that time. How can you $10,000 a month, $2,000? That's impossible. You cannot live a $15,000 lifestyle when you're only a $15,000 lifestyle a month when you're only earning $8,000. Impossible. Uno jema chet. Panipa uno jema chet. Takangodzidza kuti it's not about my workmate who thinking ndakukwira bhazi kuenda kubasa. Who cares? Who cares? Chikuru kuenda kubasa. The moment you realize what's important is going to work, then you're actually going to do better. The moment you realize, I know a lot of people will be like, I don't take a boots with $1,000. It's because I can do it. Why? Because at this moment I can. There's going to be a time when I cannot afford to spend $100 on shoes and you won't see me buying shoes. There is going to be a time when I cannot afford to buy any extra dress and you will not see me wearing a dress. For the past 4 years because I don't do it for you. That's just how my life is at the moment. Within our means. Our living should be exactly what suits what we are doing. But I know right now you've lost your jobs, you've done. If it means to bank with a friend, share one room, do it that way, because nobody cares at the end of the day. And you're able to do things the right way. There's going to be a day when the sun will rise again. There's going to be a day and the sun is going to rise again. Ene tikadzidza kunamatirawo vamwe vari kuita zvakanaka Mwari vanotikomborera. Kungoti Mwari munogonera vamwe, chindigonerai. Just like that. It's a simple prayer. Mwari munogonera vamwe, ndigonereiwo. It's open. Come to open the door. Nangandoda kunyatsoita live yangu iyoyi ndichinyatsopedzeredza but kadhara kakadecide kudzoka pana pakanonakirwa futi neni zvisina standard, you know. Anyway, I guess you just found it. Ndichanyatsoronga a live show with a panel where I can come and talk to. Asi munhu andifonera achiti ari kuuya kundibvunza kuti let me know when you're done. Ndofanira kukuudza chiivo wanga kuti utaura kuti uri kuuya kudhara chingouya wakanyarara ikunoda kundipa mutemo. Guys, I love you guys. Let's plan another show. Melo yet, I can't see. Funny message or message is retracted. I don't know how does that happen. Does it mean okay, I don't know what that means. But anyway, guys, I love you guys, and we'll come back and talk more about Nyaya because ndinazo nyaya hobo. Ndinazo nyaya hobo, especially dziri nyaya dzokumbobroka inini. One of them. Akambobroka ini. Kumbobroka kubuda mustaira zvezvo kuti ndosanaitaura kuti vanhu musararamire vanhu. Kana wakambongochikwira pamusoro pendege kuriko ku the highest class nekuti you can afford it. Don't be ashamed to adjust pazvinenge zvisiri kuita nokuti ukuda kuti isusu tikuone uri mudenga pamusoro sibongilesi vanhu awa iyo hatina kana kubasa nazvo. At the end of the day, all we can do is talk, run our mouth. Is it going to increase your bank account? Is it going to take back the overdraft fee when it's overdraft? No. All we do is talk, kanataona. And we sometimes, even I do go to my pages, people who are doing great, I go and get inspired. The moment you realize when someone is doing something that is really good, go to their pages and get inspired. Because sometimes it's okay to not be jealousy. Sometimes it's okay to go and just look and just inhale the greatness. When you inhale positivity, you end up creating that inside you. Sometimes we can't even inhale the positivity of things that are going on where we are looking. We always want to find a reason. There is one person anyora kuti show off okay. Why would you even? I'm trying to write my story and you're coming to tell me show off. Ndatarisa zvamukamunhu kacho mbudzi yakadini inonzi mbudzi chi I clicked. I was curious. Why would you come and say this on my post when I'm really trying to tell my story and you come here and say show off? And this show way off. It is what it is. Pane zvinhu zvaro zviri kuitika muupenyu hwangu iko zvino zvandasingakwanise kuafford at that time. And because I couldn't afford, I never came here ndichikupangidzirai zvandisingakwanise kuafford. Handinambobvira ndauya pano ndichikuudzai zvimwe. Ndaingokuta what you see is what you get. And my moment is my moment. What you see is what you get. I never give you a different moment than what it really is. Musa munondoona ndichitoda kuchema ndinotoya pano ndichijamba tata because mukatoona paine chaitika chisina kumira mushe ndinotouyapo panapa because my life has been here. They call it as a genius, my friend, my rest in peace, the genius. My life, your TV. If I can be entertaining in that matter, let me be entertaining in that matter. One true story is there's a young lady I miss who I love dearly, Anna Nkoma. I don't know Tarkupi Anna. I haven't heard from her in a long time and I'm just hoping she's okay. She was such a major one here on YouTube. So I don't know. Hopefully she's okay. But guys, this is my YouTube channel. And I'll be featuring here quite a bit more because Ndodaku grow in both ways, because I know a lot of people will be like, hey, YouTube, this, no. And I'm going to grow every way possible because that's my plan. And if I plan to keep on coming here and entertaining, I'm going to be coming here. I have to grow always. So, okay. Anyway, guys, so we can talk. So, it is the story. What it is what it is. Ngatingodzidzai kuti upenyu auraramire nhingi. Mwari akakupa ka breathing pipe kako mino idzi mbiri dza. Mwari dai vaida kuti tiraramire vamwe vanhu vangadai vakasiya maburi everywhere. Zvokuti unongoenda ndimwe maburi anofemera umwe munhu. We live for other people and we forget ourselves. We live for other people and we forget ourselves. Ngatisadzidze kuraramira vanhu, because when we do that tinopinda busy. Panoda kundijoina here. Does anybody? Clock yangu yekuti ndichini? It's 7:15. Okay. ndine clock inorira every day just in case ndinenge ndakanhingirira ndinenge ndakarara ndichida kuenda kubasa later saka I needed to ring a couple of hours before work so I can be able to get ready. But anyway, guys, I love you so much. And like guys, sometimes when you wonder why ndisinga pane messages mamwe. I know people send me messages. Sometimes don't want my messages andinoningirira andinowana anoenda somewhere else and I don't get to read them at that moment. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, kuti as much as we do stuff here, I don't do stuff alone. Zvizhinji zvanoita panapa, I have people that help, like izvo zvandikutaura izvo kune vanhu vanouya nemastars and stuff on media. Saka the thing is, kazhinji kacho ndinowana mamessages evanhu vane zvichemo, which is okay. But sometimes I get overwhelmed nema messages andinowana. Saka sometimes handivhure certain messages because ndinenge ndisingakwanise kuita anything at that time. I wish I could help the world, but andikwanise. It's just so almost impossible to help the world. Saka sometimes mukaona ndisina kupindura a message kana ndisina kuverenga, it's not the only message that just came in. Can you imagine kuti ku inbox kwangu ndine over 30,000 friends on my Facebook and 5,000 the regular people. Saka sometimes it's not because ndinenge ndisingade kuverenga message yako kana ndisingade kukubatsira, but it's like sometimes yes, we do stuff here, charitable things, but it doesn't mean kuti ndinokwanisa kuita zvinhu izvozvo for every person that comes to me. And sometimes I don't feel good kuti nditi handisi kukwanisa kukuitira because people think kuti kana ari kudya sadza rakadai so anofanirwa kundibatsira. That's not how it goes. Sometimes it's very difficult kuti ndidile nesituation yako. Saka if you are going to write me needing help, be prepared kuti nyaya yako ndiiposte ibude public, because I don't do help in anditore. I don't publicly help people personally, and I mean my situations akatosiyana. So at times if you are writing me about a problem or a situation, write me uchiziva kuti it's okay for me to post your story. Be prepared kuti ndikutaurira kuti I'm going to post your story kana paine ma well wishers so they can reach out to you, because ndinoita a lot of, I'm not trying kushora vanhu kana kutry kutaura anything. There's a lot, I have hundreds of messages of people vane ma situations avo mumunhingirini. I can't help everybody. Dzimwe nguva zvamunoona tichiuya panapa titi andazopa nhingi $50, zvinenge zvichitongoitika pashow panapa zvichingoitika zvichitopfuura. It doesn't necessarily mean kuti ndinonhingirira, handina organization inoita izvozvo. Saka sometimes I have to raise those funds that help people before I can give them out. Saka sometimes mukaona ndinyorera ndisina kupindura or ndisina kuvhura message, it's because ndinenge ndisiri at that time ndisingakwanise kuti ndiatende, because like I'm saying, I get a lot of those messages and I totally understand. Because it's just a thing of sometimes people, you are desperate to get the help that you're just going to reach out to everywhere you can, which is okay. But musabatikana mukaona ndisina kupindura. Because I have so many of those messages. Imagine, I know mukatoenda back even kune vanhu vakawanda vanoita zvakadari izvi kwese kunana sisimela, I'm sure they face these situations. Pakaitika a charitable situation vanhu vachiitirwa zvakati nezvakati, you end up with 100 messages in inbox sevanhu vari kuda the same help. But like I'm saying, I'm not a charitable organization. I'm just Loveness Rutendo Samazi, and zvinenge zvichiitika motoenda kupage kwangu ndikasazviburitsa kuangels uko hapana chinofamba. Saka if you are not prepared to share your story with my angels, then I don't know what else to do, because the most I can help with is advice. At most, yeah. Mostly I am very good with advising, and sometimes even just advise and ndinogona kutoshaiwa time, understand guys, because pane vanhu vanotsamwa ndikasapindura messages. It doesn't work like that. Dzimwe nguva ndinenge ndakatowandirwa. Uyu murume wekaiko, not doing that. Sorry guys. And one thing about me, anyway guys, what it is what it is. I was talking about guys, ndinoziziva kuti I know kuti kune mafoundations hope anoita zvokubatsira vanhu and stuff and OC foundation, and I'm not one of those. I'm just an individual who works with my group of people here, and it takes a lot to put stuff out there. Whatever genetica, yes, I mean there are people who've been lucky to just be randomly picked and things happen. But kana wauya uchindinyorera tsamba kuseri and need some help, expect me to bring it to my angels who are very helpful in a manner, because if I can't bring it out to them, I cannot individually do it. In what I have is just enough to take care of my needs. And pane madays atombofarisa and we do stuff, it's because ndinenge nditori mumudi yacho yekufarisawo musi wacho, and it doesn't always work kuti by the time you come kuseri, because I know I'm just being polite about it so people can just know. Because the thing is, ukandinyorera tsamba unimhoresa kuti Loveness, ndinokuona every day and you inspire me in this way, ndinoipindura faster, because imwe ndikaona kuti rutauro ndakazodai ine nhoroondo, I choose not to open because I don't want to break your heart. As much as I could probably put that help out there, but I think about it, so at that moment I choose not to open because I don't know how to break a heart and I don't know how to say no to people. So sometimes I just don't respond, don't open it, because I'm just not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. So guys, if you don't see me responding to your messages, understand because as much as I want to save the world, it's unfortunate it doesn't work like that. But I'm not saying don't write. You can write, because and it feels like it's something that I can be helpful with. With the help of my angels, and you know, this, whatever the case, let me leave that one alone, because it's a very hard, difficult one to address, because handisi kunanga anyone. Ndine dzakawanda tsamba kuinbox dzevanhu vanenge vachinyora because they feel like they could reach out, because vanotarisa vachiona zviri kuitika, but you know, not because ndinenge ndichita izvozvo means I have enough of it to do it like that. Pandinoita ipapo ndo pande ndichikwanisira, ndine maallowances angu andinokwanisa kuita certain things, and the rest is for me. And I love you guys so much. Like I say, live within your means. Raramai zvamunokwanisa. Muchitiona tichifamba kudai izvi, tione kwatakabva, tine kwatiri kuenda, and muzita raJesu tichararama. Let's just continue to be faithful and continue to live within our means, and do not choose kusa-adjusta just so we can be happy, because isatifi takakufarira tichitosvotwa neupenyu hwavo. Hatifi takanyatsofara zvokufara kuti hey Loveness azotenga Benz, hatakana basa nazvo. Hatitorina basa nazvo. Priska Kelly, love you so much sis. Hatina kana basa nazvo. Go and buy your Benz, go drink your expensive wine. This is so funny, because like I'm saying, munhu anotosvikobatikana kuti hey ari kutiratidza this and this and this. It's not, it doesn't matter. Kana uchitoridawo bhawa iroro mumba mako, ingotaura kuti Mwari ndipewo upenyu hwakadai, because zvanoita Mwari manje vanoteerera. One day cross unowana bhawa ratidzi mukomo. I love you guys. I love you guys always and forever. I love you, I love you, I love you. Ndichienda hangu here maneta handiti. Anyway, follow, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we'll have the days that change tine giveaways, but it's not gonna be January disease saka. But I love you guys, and for those if you want to write me for any advice, let's do that. I can ndizive kuti ndo advice azvinosvikepi, but it's either ndikanga ndisingakwanisa kukuudza zvaunenge uchida kunzwa, and I'll refer you to someone that can help you with whatever questions you have for me. But right now, imbomirai ma questions mama ningiri nhoroondo nekudidi naye. If you're writing me a story to share with the angels, yes, I will take that story and I'll share it with the angels and be ready kuti ndinengirine vanhu vapiwe information, because if they're going to help, I want them to directly help you. So guys, I love you guys, I love you, and always will. Ndostopa nepapi chinhu chikuti chimire kuita kufamba. Tichasangana pachikamu chinoteera. It's been great, and I will come back. I'm working my crazy hours lately, so I'll be no time muchapota muchindiona idzodzidzi. Either subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. So I will see you guys later. It was a long show, wasn't it? And invite your friends and share my YouTube channel. Let's find each other. Tichangoonana because chakanakira panapa ndechekuti panapa vakuvhara-vhare zvokumhanya ukoko, tikatsindikwa musi tikakandwa useri kweyadhi, we are still able to air panapa. I have something coming for you guys where I will be able to open the lines. That's at Twitter, it's 7:30. I have several minutes to have. Do you guys want to call in? Is there anyone who wants? Panada ufona here and ndise number. Anyway, I like to talk to myself anyway. Did you see what Nataura for over an hour by myself? I love you guys, like literally I love you all, and I hope my last message doesn't get to anybody wrong. I love everybody, but just like I say, if you're going to share a story with me, share it with me. And if it requires immediate attention, as in help financially, don't expect it to happen like right away, because that's not how it works. I love you, and I love you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will cut this off now. Maybe in 2 minutes on Facebook.